Asinivusele malunga, asinivusele bakangwane. Awu malunga lahloniphekile, sithi nathi sibonga nje lokuthola leli thuba njengalokuthi sihlangane ngaleli hlobo lesihlangene ngalo. Malunga njengoba nathi lokuthi solo sikulo mnyikanyika lapha khona kukhuluma lokukhona eveni bathi bantu bakhulumele eMaswati. Lokukhuluma labakushoko bathi bakhulumele eMaswati sokufikile lesikhathi ukuthi sisho ukuthi awu abakhulumeli thina nathi siyakwati ukukhulumela. eMaswati ayathi khulumela, eMaswati akhulume sibayena. Njengoba ke sibonela ukuthi asivele siusukumise lo mkhankaso lapho sitawuthi khona awu asambe sonke sisekele live. Sitabe sihamba ngesicubulo sethu lesithi #not in my name. Lokusho ukuthi ke hhayi ngeligama lami. Njengoba basho bathi bakhulumela eMaswati. eMaswati bekunene asikubeke kuqaqa lokuthi munye umuntu lokhulumela eMaswati. Lokhulumela eMaswati ngwenyama, ngumswati wesithathu. Njengoba ke sicala lolu hambo lwethu loluthi abangasikhulumeli, siyawuthi khulumela. Umfanga akaqhubeki kakhulu nale nkulumo akathathe leli thuba abonge abantu abenkosi labangale kwelithaka, bantwana benkosi Mswati wesibili isitukulwane sakhe. Sibonga indlela labasukuma ngayo bekunene lapho sokubonakalisa khona ukuthi awu ngiloyo ukhuluma la kutsandzako ngepholo bakithi. Ngiloyo ukhuluma la kufunako. Kodwa bekunene basukuma bawekhuta lo moya. Lokhu kuyasinika lokho ukuthi awu vele bantwana belichawe. Njengoba bakubeka kwaqaqa ukuthi laba labedzelele ingwenyama sokududane kokuthi vele babasonzelele ngoba nabo babantwana balengwenyama. Njengoba naba bantwana nje besitukulwane saMswati wesibili, Mswati wesibili solo ngwelo Mswati wesithathu. Sithi ke asibonge kakhulu kubantu abenkosi lokho labakwenda. Umuntu ke akaphinze asho lokuthi emalangenini lokunye kufuna ukuthi sikwati lokuthi bantu babohle bangenwa nayimoya yetilwane. Umuntu uyabuthatha umoya wesilwane angumuntu. Ngingabekisa nje ngithi umuntu uyaguquka belinwabo, athatha umoya webunwabo. Lokunye ngingasho ukuthi umuntu kulesimo lesibhekene naso uyawuthatha umoya wekuba sahanya. Bantu ke bayasathi sahanya ukuthi silwane muni. Sahanya silwane lokubonakalisa kwekuthi sitalelwe ekhaya. Kodwa ke ekuhambeni kwemalanga sibese sahanya siyaphuma ekhaya ngekwenta kwaso ngekuganga nangekwenta lokwa lokubonakalisa ukuthi awu banikati bazo mhlawumbe abasakuthanzi. Kepha ke lokuliqiniso asitshelwa nangumuntu ukuthi sinyalo kufuna sendene. Sithi ngabe sigangile sathi sona usinyalo kwese sigangile. Bese ke kuba ngiso ke lesibona usinyalo kufuna sendene. Kulenzaba lapho khona sithi cha akungasetshenziswa igama leMaswati kuthe Emaswati athi afuna democracy na democracy le inkumbi yalamaswati angakwati kumqhaza. Sithi-ke kasibonge kubantu abenkosi labangale kwelithanga lokuthi nabo basukume basho kona lokho lesikushoko ukuthi akungendeki ngeligama lambo, akungasetshenziswa bona ukuthi kukhona idemocracy lefunwa ngeMaswati. Bekunene malunga lahloniphekile, sisikazisho lokuthi naleyo democracy lokukhulunywa ngayo abakhona kuyichaza labanikati bayo. Nasi siyababuta sihlangana nabo la endleleni, asenisichazeleni ukuthi le democracy leniyifunako ithini. Labanye bavele bakhombise nje sibadlete ingalo ukuthi abayadi bayalandzela laba labafuna le democracy. Na uthi uyabafuna bona laba labathi-ke bangiyombamba bayayadi. Uyathola lokuthi kwabona abayadi ngoba bakhuluma lulwimi loluthi idemocracy ngumbuso wemaphathi. Kanti malunga ngifuna nje lokusho lokuthi cha, emaphathi akasiyi democracy, kodwa emaphathi isystem nje luhlobo lwenqubo yahulumende ukuthi yena ufuna kuqhuba ngayiphi indlela. Njengetinkundla ngoba nala ekhaya eSwatini sisebenzisa tinkundla, ngule Emaswati abona ukuthi ngilanga kusebenzisa. Ngilapho-ke le ndzaba la ifika isehlule khona ukuthi nabantu bathi bakhuluma ngedemocracy basho kanemaphathi. Lokubuhlungu lamaphathi sebawamakethile, sebawathengisele Emaswati ukuthi lo mbuso wemaphathi utawuba kanje, utawuma kaso. Sengilapho-ke Emaswati kufuna bese nawahlahle emehlo kwekuthi vele lo mbuso walamaphathi ngiwo indlela esiwufunako. Sithi-ke thine hhayi ngeligama lethu, ngoba sesisibonile isithombe sawo, sisibone ngaphandle, sasibona nala ekhaya nakusuka le nqushunqushu. Emaphathi avete kwekuthi wona lilungelo lemuntu lilide. Lamaphathi labakhuluma ngayo avete kwekuthi umuntu kufanele emukwe kwakhe, agqekezelwe. Lamaphathi la bazivetele wona, bazivetele kwekuthi umuntu kufanele asongelwe nangabe akhuluma umqondo lowehlukile kulabo labafuna lawo maphathi. Azivetele lamaphathi bekunene kwekuthi umuntu nangabe anemqondo lowehlukile kufanele athole tinhlamba. Sithi-ke singithi malunga asiboni lokuthi lokhu singakuvumela sithi ngilele esikufunako, ngoba kusho ukuthi vele impilo yethu kuyawuba ngiloku hlala sigijima singcunqutheka. Nangabe emaphathi ayawuthi evela kungabi khona umthetho, kungaba nemithetho okufuna kubonakale ukuthi kusongelwa labanye nangabe umthetho okufuna usebenze. Ngithi-ke malunga njengoba sihamba seva kwekuthi wona lamaphathi lokukhulunywa ngawo bekunene uyevakala lokwekuthi ayabhadalelwa. Nawuthi uyafuna ngubani lo wabhadalela kona? Uyathola-ke lokwekuthi kuthiwa lo mbuso wemaphathi ubhadalelwa ngu-Osisa. Osisa ngubani na? Na ulandzela Osisa nabamchaza ngalamagama laphelele bathi i-Open Society Initiative for Southern Africa. Oh, na uthi uyamfuna osisa ukuthi usebenza njani na? Kuthiwa osisa umsebenzi wakhe kuqisa bohulumende labakhona. Umsebenzi wa osisa kuphusha ama-agenda alabo laba bafuna ukuthi vele kwenteke lokhu lokufunwa ngibo. Akukhathalekile ukuthi labanye bafuna ini. Bese ke osisa ukugqokisa ingubo lekuthiwa idemocracy. Kanti phela idemocracy sathi kwekuthi insando elinyenti. Nangabe ke besikhuluma ngensando elinyenti ngulapha khona ke siyawuthe Emaswati ayawuthatha inqumo aphelele aonke bese ke kuyabonakala ukuthi ke afuna live libhekephi. Kepha ke lamhla akusiko lokhu labakhuluma ngako ku-detector nabathi i-democracy asiyati insando elinyenti le detectela labanye uthi hawu lokhu sesikufuna ngenkani. Ngulapho ke ufika ubone khona ukuthi kusho ukuthi vele Emaswati nangakade ibukeli kahle kutaba madini. Nasichubeka sisolo sibuka ukuthi wo osisa ngubani. Lo osisa malunga kuthiwa osisa umsebenzi wakhe lomkhulu ngulokubhadala letimali ukuthi kusuke leyo mesindvo uba ke nebantu bakhe laba nabo. Osisa usebenzisa naku lokuthiwa i-propagandist journalist. Osisa usebenzisa propagandist prophet. Labo bantu labo ngabo ke labahamba embili njengoba nala eveni sibona nje laba bantu labaqhuba ukuprofita lokungekho. Labanye niyabadi ukuthi lona sowahlalela kuprofita nje umuntu uthide naka profite nake bajabuleke tihlwele takhe noma ke bajabuleke osisa lambhadalabo. Sithi ke bakangwane asibuke lento malunga ukuthi ingabe njengoba sokuyaxaxa lokho ukuthi vele nalabo labasetshenziswako ngulama propagandist kude lokhu labakuzuzako kuzuza bona laba lembili. Laba ngemuva abazuzi lutho ngoba bona bayasetshenziswa nje. Ngiko ke sisi lo mkhankaso vele kulamalanga siyawusukumela ukuthi cha sithi hayi ngeligama lethu. Hayi ngeligama leMaswati. Umuntu lathi khulumela kona akahlikhulumele yena angasi Emaswati athide. Simbonile ke nalo nganga Ntentewane. Ntentewane ke umuntu manje naye simvile naye akhuluma akhuda. Bongathi wena ukhuda ngale kulolu hlangothi kani ukhuda nje Emaswati. Lokho ukuthi cha phela umuntu noma bekangagqama umuntu noma bekangenda mpho umqimbi lo tawubita abantu bese sowufika kulesigaba sokuthi bese uyagqama eveni abantu sebayamadi kwekuthi ukhona sibani sebayamlandzela. Simvile ke washongwe akhuda athi ungathi akusesiko. Umuntu ka angabuka njengalongisho ukuthi lo muntu awubuka ukuthi hawu abekhuda kulela side langale kulaba labathi bafuna emaphathi. Kanzi besakhutela neMaswati onke kwekuthi udetector le bantu kuphinze futhi kuleso sigaba uthi wena ufuna idemocracy. awu kuyahlupha bekunene ngeke lakhe la kangwane. Sithi ke malunga njengoba sihlangene ngayo nalendlela lesihlangene ngayo, sivele sisukumeni lo mkhankaso siwuphakamise lokuthi cha i-hashtag isho ilolome lethi hashtag hhayi ngeligama lami. Umuntu uyawuthi khulumela. Sine lesikuphakamisako siphakamisa ukuthi asiye sibayene. Siphakamisa ukuthi umbuso wetingundla ngona wona. Siphakamisa kwekuthi njengoba nyaloku isikhathi sencwala asishone encwaleni. Nayo incwala sivile bayigceka bona laba lengibashito ukuthi bangema propagandist lasebenta kubhala tindzaba, bangema propagandist lasebenta kuprofita. Bayigcekile incwala. So uyatibuta-ke ukuthi bayatelaphi yona lencwala. Ngoba ngabaqale bayibuta lokuthi incwala yini iqhamukaphi. So ke lokhu khona ngiko lokuthi njengoba incwala bangayati asesibatshele ngencwala. Incwala ayifiki lamuhla. Incwala beyikhona idolo. Incwala beyikhona nakusanda. Incwala nalamhla ikhona. Futhi nakusasa iyawube solikhona. Sithi ke lokuthi abantu basikhulumele ungathi kakusilo liqiniso. Asiyawuthi khulumela. Ngiloko lesikushoko malunga asethembe lokuthi lo mkhankaso utathambela kahle. Sikuphakamise lokuthi vele asiyawukhulunyelwa. Umuntu akatikhulumele akhulumele nebalandzeli bakhe. Sithi asambe sonke siye encwaleni. Asambe sonke siye esibayeni. Asambe sonke sisekele tinkundla.
Ucelela kweMaswatini ukuthi asingabi bantu labaphula umthethosisekelo for any purpose. Asiwulandzeleni ngoba noma kungathiwa kunetinguquko letiyaphi bude leyothanda ukuthi umthethosisekelo unyathele maka office of power. What is good about our system ukuthi nalo kungabukeka kungathi silima senzayo. Uma labantu baleyo ndzawo bayati imisebenzi yaloyo muntu bangamthuma eParliament. Ufunzile akakafundi. Uphuyile noma akakaphuli. Kunelithuba lokuthi ahambe ayomela sports sakubo eParliament. That's the goodness of the system. Lesithi-ke asikucelele mhlawumbe kulesikhathi lesibhoko ukuthi Maswati lamandla asambeni esifayeni. Sambeni sakheni kwethu. The problems that we have, ungaba na program yahulumende for future, ukuthi after a certain period smart partnership siyoba khona. Nangoke matafuna. Langatshintshi the system of governance, but la focus kuma issues of interest, concern Emaswati, as issues of delivery, issues of shortage of drugs. That's where Emaswati athanga khona. Afake imibono ihambe yosebenzela imibono ekhaya.
Sebo. Banemanga lapho. Ngiyathi kuthiwa khona bolondweza. Lomanateke nje kwakhe.
Aphakathi.
Umangale kundawo. Keba uNkulunkulu wasakanjani lapha emhlabeni. Agcine nje umuntu agcine nje impela mina ngathi kuthi ashindwa ngayati.
Aphakathi.
Abone ke nakunje ke
Democracy has no morality. Democracy has no ethics. Democracy has no religion. Democracy has no spirituality. Democracy has nothing that it believes in. Democracy has no family. Democracy has no children. Democracy has no wives. Democracy has no economy. Democracy has no respect for anything. In fact, if you look around the democratic system, what makes it even very, very spurious and very complicated is that they say that we are democratic, you are free. And the first person who must be free in any democratic system is the individual. So right, let's start right there. If the individual is free, the individual is free to what? The individual is free to be themselves. The individual is free to govern, to think, to express themselves as individuals. But alas, when you look at all the democratic system, the individual is not free. I beg to differ. There's no African person who can say that this is our democracy, because the very concept of democracy is not owned by black people. It is a foreign plant on the African soil. When they say we are democratic and we are free to what? We are free to act like whites. We are free to eat like whites. We are free to worship like whites. We are free to dance like whites. We are free to buy like whites. We are free to work like whites. We are free to be educated like whites. We are free to suffer while white people are supervising the suffering, and that is democracy. You are free to vote, but you don't vote for your own freedom. You vote so that some few people that have been elected by a system which is being governed by another system, which is being sponsored by another system, must run the common people and have access to resources of those countries. They call this democracy in Africa. I beg to challenge every politician out there who has got a better explanation that democracy will work on African ground. Please come forward and challenge me on that. We can say that we are free, but our freedom is rotting, is eating, is cankering, is destroying, is vandalizing our own systems. We are simply an audience that is floating in the midst of a system that is being managed by those who have resources. I want to say it very clearly, that poor people have no choices. Poor people have no choices. Choices are for the rich people. So show me a democratic system that allows common people to be rich. No, democracy is actually a fine-tuned system of capitalism, with some small little elements of socialism and a little bit here and there of some hierarchical and cultural tolerance. But democracy, in all honesty, is not a system that was built by Africans, to be maintained by Africans, to be assumed by Africans. Our form of governance as Africans is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is our governance. I am because you are. It does not make sense that Africa can have so many resources, yet Africa still languishes in poverty. We have banks that we don't own. We have education systems that we don't own. We have curriculums that we never wrote. We have political parties that don't service our own interest as people. We have passports. They don't give us access to other countries. They have access to our countries. We don't have access into their own countries. And that's supposed to be democracy. They have embassies in our own countries, and yet they put the same countries in sanctions. What sort of a system are we talking about if we are to be addressing the issues of African democracy? African democracy is a crippled child who is sitting on a wheelchair, a paraplegic wheelchair. In as much as our countries are claimed to be democratic, they are not free at all. Our economies are ruled by the West. Our education is ruled by the West. Our medicine is given by the West. Our diseases are managed by the West. Our populations are managed by the West. Our technologies are imposed on us by the West. So which part of us can you say is democracy? The same countries, they sponsor a government, they sponsor a surrogate government, the government gets into power. After they're in power, then you put the same government in sanctions again. What do they want from us? These colonizers, what do they want from us?
If you want to talk about prophecy, you should have told us that Corona was coming. Then I would have believed you. Even now, it's not too late. If you are a prophet, tell us when it will end. Look into the future and tell us if you are with God. Because the Bible says God will not do anything unless he has whispered to his prophets, to his servants, the prophets. So we have right now prophets who run churches. I've never seen one prophet in the whole Bible who was running a church. Prophets don't run churches. Priests are the ones who run.
And think because of the applause. And you forget that the applause belongs to God. It is not your applause. The Bible says that this donkey, when it came back, it came along. Because when you are alone and God is alone, it does not matter how many people. When God has left you, there is
sibanga nabani umnikatolo ngubani nothile sibanga ku lamswati lokho lokhona sengibani kuhle simuve phela usho umuntu aphuma khanye nje cha lele alisilo lamswati la nangu walithola kanje ukhanye ukuthi cha yebo mngana ngalalelwa ekuvakala ukuthi watholwa kanje
bengaze ngiyithathe ephile ngabile ngangawe ke yemsaka ndaba lele bengayekhweza phezulu kwamahlahla lamadezini intaba ezinkulu umboka loqule ezulwini sishongela udwalo lomhlapho lomnyama lobushelezi athala ukhwela amadoda kangwane abagedezela lomncane longaphiqana izindlela khada abadala zibaphiqile wena ke ngolegend kababe kamahlokotha ukhwelegend zakuhlekana lesinye isinyoni ziphinde zakuhlekanisa kalomnye
live baphikisana modwana bathi is it Swaziland or Switzerland wasizophakamisa sandla umntwana wathi sekhaya eSwatini emambala emakhosetive sowukhulile nikeleni bongwane lomntwana ngoba nangu sowukhulile ingane nangu nemtimba wakhe seyafakaza uyacikitela ngathi wentombi nayithatha sisu bakhathi umlomo khosetive wafana nenyoka nayivele eliphatheni emambala wena uyesabeka phuma la ngale kithi sikothe oyethe wena